right, let's.
I'm looking at YouTube.
Where's my phone?
I see like multiple schedules, but we're still
Yeah, I'll
not
get rid of those.
not live.
It's because it's the only time that it matters if we're actually live right now.
It still
Okay,
doesn't allow-
we're no,
Oh, wait.
we're
I think you could.
I see it.
You
Okay.
see it?
Yep.
Logan, can you share that out, please?
Cool. Yep, I'll share it out.
All right,
Talk to you
thank
guys soon.
See you.
All right, bye. Okay. We
Yeah.
we're live.
Yes, it
As
worked.
As if tonight wasn't frustrating enough.
Thanks, YouTube. Sorry we didn't schedule it. Or you don't like us, starting.
You cannot
floss. Can't start
your-
late. You can't start late. I'm gonna floss while we're on.
You can't floss your teeth.
I forgot we were live.
You can't fly. I'm not gonna watch you floss your fucking teeth after I just watched the Yankees lay another egg in the postseason. Okay, well, we've already done 4 or 5 minutes of the recording.
Do it again.
And ranted. We'll do it again. We'll do it live this time. The way I started it last time was a Yankees Boone bingo, because you had the stranded runners, obviously in the 9th inning, also in the 1st inning, the vast desert of nothingness in the middle of the game, where Yankees hitters are dropping one after the other, only scoring on the home run. Bullpen just complete and utter nightmare meltdown, which we've seen time and time again. All season long.
to be fair, it was a Weaver meltdown. Weaver was all over the goddamn place. Yeah, Weaver was all over the goddamn place. He couldn't get anybody out. His fastball, was not an out pitch, and he couldn't locate anything else. And they knew that. And when you have Rafaela going in there just fouling everything off, you know that you're not in a position at this point to put anybody away. So you're there too, and you're looking at this. I think every single person watching this game knew damn well that Boone was going to. First of all, I was surprised that he even brought him in back for the lefty, Duran, because that was the right move to bring him out. But he was 99 pitches at that point. He was still throwing, knowing that your bullpen is what it is. There's an absolute second guess with no runners on, just going with Fried and keeping him in there.
I was kind of saying at the time, it's damned if you do, damned if you don't, because I do think Fried was laboring. He threw over 20 pitches in consecutive innings in the 4th and 5th inning, or excuse me, the 5th and 6th inning. He comes back out to face the lefty in the top of the 7th, and he gets him, and the Yankees are up 1-0 at that time. And it's one of those situations where if you leave Fried in and he gets beat, you second guess it, because you're saying, well, clearly he was gassed, and what are you doing leaving him in with a rested bullpen? You go to the bullpen and Weaver has absolutely nothing, and you're saying, why don't you leave Fried in? Look at what the Red Sox did, though. Look at what Alex Cora did, and he let his ace throw well over 100 pitches.
Garrett Crochet didn't look like he was laboring in the least. Maybe the very, very, very end when he was at 113 pitches.
But like early in the game, he looked worse than he did in the middle towards the end.
I mean, how often does that happen? That's why I said in our last show that the first inning was the most important inning for the Yankees, and they started off beautifully. That you can't get a better start. You have Goldschmidt, who gets on base single. I mean, Goldschmidt was not a problem tonight. That's for sure. He was not a problem. He 2 hits.
Yeah.
Was there? I see guys saying they should have pinch run for him. It didn't matter. He wasn't the tying run. It didn't matter.
I mean, I guess if there was going to be a play at the plate, fine. Like, yeah, should he have pinch run? Yeah, he should have pinch run, but he didn't. That didn't cost him the game. Yeah. Bringing in Jazz for defensive reasons, really for no reason at all.
There's no defensive reason for that. Yeah, it's more so just doing it. It's like, well, you know what, Cora, you're not going to force me to sit all of my guys. I'm gonna play him. All right.
It's like you actually sat Jazz, which I didn't think was going to happen. You sat him because you wanted to stack as many of your right-handed hitters as you could against Crochet. And then when you could see clearly what's happening in this game is Cora is only going to have Crochet and Chapman pitch in this game. No one else is going to sniff the mound for the Red Sox, at least in 9 innings, in the first 9 innings, right? Like, it goes to extras, obviously. But for the first 9 innings, it was only going to be Crochet and Chapman.
I don't know about that because I think that the Yankees gave him that 8th inning. They gave him that 8th inning. Crochet should not have been in the game at that point.
Well, Chapman came in the 8th inning.
I know, but my point is that at those last 2 innings that Crochet was pitching, the fast at bats allowed him to go in there and go for another inning. They needed to work the count more. They needed to continue to work the count for him because they got to get him out of the game. You got to get him out of the game one way or another.
What inning was it where they did the 6th pitch inning? Was that the 7th inning?
Yeah. But either way, you're looking at when you stack righties like that, you're stacking Omar Rosario and Caballero. Ahmed Rosario. Caballeros. You know what? I was flustered when the Jets said go Yankees and they sent out that graphic. I was flustered then. I saw it. I was like, no, God, no. Why? Why did you do that? Stay away. Keep the Yankees name out of your mouth. Stay away. I've been a Jets fan my whole life. Stay away. Don't even touch this sacred sport and my team. Don't do it. And they did it. You're starting Caballero and you're trying to get the right-handed bats in there. Caballero's, a sub 700 OPS as well. It's not like you're getting these guys.
You're just getting righties in there for the sake of righties.
And you kept them in the entire game because Cora's smarter than you and knew exactly what you were doing. And guess what he did? He did the same thing. He put out a dog shit lineup against Fried in the beginning so that he could come in with his bats, knowing that Fried was not going to go deep into this game and that bullpen was going to come out. And what did he do? He deployed his hitters. And what did they do? They hit. Yoshida drove in the 2 runs. They had opportunities and they took advantage of the opportunities. And Cora beat Boone again. And the Yankees can't build offensively.
No, they can't.
They can hit home runs. And even that home run, like Volpe, good for Volpe. He had a good game.
Good piece of hitting.
2 hits, good piece of hitting. Went with a fastball. Take advantage of what you got. But after that, 17 straight?
It was 17 straight.
You can't build on anything. You can't build on anything offensively when you have at bats like that.
We're kind of bouncing all over the place. There's 2 things in this that I want to talk about. So many things, but 2 things. I do think that first inning Bellinger at bat was a killer because you had 2 hard hit balls to start that game. Both Goldschmidt and Judge turned on fastballs off of Crochet and lined him to left field. He, at that moment, was probably reeling a little bit, as anyone would in their first playoff game at Yankee Stadium with the first 2 guys reaching. Bellinger's up, and he swings at a ball at his neck. And that kind of let the air out of the Yankees' sails. And it was, the next 2 guys got out. And it allowed Crochet, I think, to just, breathe for a second.
That's what it did. I don't think it let the air out of the Yankee sail as much as it gave Crochet a moment to say, okay, I can do this. I can get out of this. If I get Bellinger here, I can get out of this. And
he got him to swing at a pitch way out of the strike zone.
Yes.
And Stanton kind of looked terrible all night, but then who hit after Stanton? I'm free. It was Grisham. Grisham also made it. So it's just that moment was kind of a letdown, and I think it was a bad at bat by Bellinger. And then
the Stanton double play is what ended the inning.
Oh, it's the Stanton double play, right? Yeah. And then in the Sogard extending what should have been a base hit into a double, what is happening on that play?
So real quick, I want to talk about that before that even happened, Sogard, the inning before, tagged up on a ball to center field in which, again, this is the same thing that happened both times. The outfielders were not expecting him to be running. Okay. So they just expected him to go on that. Grisham expected him to go back to first, kind of lobbed it back in. There was there really was, he took advantage of that. He saw that. And I promise you that was a scout. That was a scouting report saying these guys, if you go back late, they're not going to look at you. They're not going to try to throw. This is what the scouting report tells them. You be aggressive on these outfielders, not because their arms are bad, not because they have accuracy problems, but because they're not paying attention, right? And they're not understanding what the situation is. The second one, a lot of people on Twitter would be like, "Oh, Judge's arm, he threw it 72 point whatever miles per hour." That is not what happened. Look at the play, watch the play. He was flat-footed. He went to the ball and he lobbed it back in. He didn't lob it back in because his arm hurt. He just lobbed it back in because he
took his sweet ass time.
He wasn't expecting Sogard to run. First of all, how do you not expect Sogard to run after he just tagged the last time up from first base to go to second base on a fly ball to center field? The guy just did it in your face. You got to know. So at that point, it's again, it's sloppy. It's
sloppiness.
baseball.
It's mental
sloppy
sloppy.
baseball.
It's mental sloppiness. I don't know how you're not playing. It's like we're not talking about a guy not diving or something. It's like how do you just not play it straight up? Like, I'm not gonna give the guy any chance to get to second base here. I'm gonna charge this ball and I'm gonna throw it in. Look what Bellinger did in one of the first or second inning. He kept a guy at first base on a ball down the left field line because he sprinted over there and cut it off quick and fired a ball to second base.
Yes.
And instead, Grisham trots back and just lollygags the ball back in. Guy tags up, and Judge trots over into the right center field and just, like you said, flat foot throws a ball into second base, just not ever in his wildest dreams expecting the runner to run. And it's unacceptable. It's unacceptable.
I'm not saying his arm doesn't hurt, but that was not the case in that play. I'm sorry, but that was not the case.
And that did matter because instead of it being first and third, it was second and third. The single happened, so that would have scored a run. But that, if it was first and third, that would have been a single. And then they ended up getting out of that inning. There could have been a situation where you get out of that inning tied if he doesn't let that runner advance. Would the runner have scored? Maybe. Very good chance that he would have, because that is a dangerous inning regardless. But I do think that was another one of those turning moment plays. And Judge made a great play to end that inning, running back to the warning track.
I thought that ball for sure off the bat was over.
Me too. I thought that was off the wall. But yeah, that play, it's just one of those things. Time and time again, it happens with this team where you're just like, are their heads in the game? Why can't they just play sound baseball? Why can't they do any of the little things right? And this was a game where the little things were going to cost you because it was a close pitcher's duel. Fried did not end up matching Crochet, but he certainly pitched well enough to win. Okay. You get the ball into the seventh inning with no runs across. That's enough to win. And it didn't happen.
Yeah. I look, I agree. I know there were a lot of people calling for for Fried staying out there. I think it's a little bit of a Monday morning quarterback, to be honest, because I do agree with you. It did look like he was. It looked like he was
20 pitch innings, back-to-back 20 pitch innings. Yeah. That's a lot.
And he was missing the plate. He didn't look the same as he had. So yes, those Weaver just didn't have it at all immediately. You could tell he could. When you can't get a ball past Rafaela, you know damn well that you are not an effective pitcher in the current moment. You're just not. And he threw a couple changeups that look good, but his the fastball just, it wasn't really a competitive pitch. And Neil was saying this. Our boy Neil, by the way, shout out. He caught
Caballero's foul ball.
Nice catch. But he's right. He was saying to us in a text that that Weaver's, his fastball, when he was missing, there were non-competitive pitches. That's correct. They were not anywhere near the plate. As a reliever, when you're wasting a fastball or you're wasting a pitch, you can't have it 3 feet off the plate. It's an easy take. And as a reliever in those moments, you cannot have easy takes because you're not going to get anything else. You're not going to get the swing and miss on the other pitches. You got to be competitive around the zone. And he just wasn't. So Cruz, let a runner on, but was able to get out of the inning.
Yeah, and the insurance run for that Bednar gave up was massive because you look what happened in that ninth inning, and them not scoring is inexcusable. But if that's a one-run game, that's a completely different situation.
Definitely.
I do want to talk more about that ninth inning, but first I want to tell you guys about Factor meals, because for fall, it can feel, for all of us in fall, it can, feel like things are getting too hectic. Things are too busy. Obviously, the baseball playoffs are here, so we're going to be up late. There's back to school, busier work schedules, all that kind of stuff. The point is, it can be hard to find time to cook when you are really busy. That's why I use Factor. If you're looking to try new cuisines, Factor can help. You get more variety and more meals at no extra cost. If you're looking to stick to your diet, Factor can help there too. They are supporting your wellness goals with even more GLP-1 friendly meal options this fall. And if you're looking for something that is easy and convenient, Factor really helps there. There's no prep, no mess. It is awesome. I used it to eat dinner tonight because I was home alone with the two kids while trying to watch a baseball game. No chance I was going to cook a meal. Being able to pop something in the microwave and being able to heat it up in 2 minutes was extremely convenient and delicious. Eat smart at factormeals.com/Bronx50off and use code Bronx50off to get 50% off your first box plus free breakfast for 1 year. That's an awesome deal. That's code Bronx50off at factormeals.com for 50% off your first box plus free breakfast for a year. Get delicious, ready-to-eat meals delivered with Factor. Offer only valid for new Factor customers with code and qualifying auto-renewing subscription purchase. Thank you, Factor. Bases loaded, nobody out. Chapman, first of all,
before can we talk about the inning before that, please?
Chapman forgetting the rule on the and I knew it was happening.
Someone was saying that he thought he ran. He thought fine, whatever. It doesn't matter either way.
He forgot the rule.
Even if he thought he ran, it doesn't matter. He gets the bag, so it doesn't matter at all. I mean, look, I tweeted out that he booed Bale out. Everybody's like, "What are you talking about?" But he did in that moment. He bailed Boone out for not sending Volpe. Volpe could have walked to second base. Okay. You're going to walk there. Chapman couldn't throw over. First of all, Chapman can't hold runners on. We all know that. Everybody knows that. Everybody who's watched the Yankees for any amount of time here knows that. He's done it. We've been watching that for how many years when he was on this team. He doesn't hold runners on. He throws 101 miles per hour still, but he's slow to the plate. And when you have Volpe on there who's bouncing around like a jackass, you're not running. Not running.
Well, I actually think
run early in the count. Give an opportunity. Give an opportunity to have someone on second base. How many times have we stolen signs from people from being on second? You never know. Just get to second base. Get into scoring position, please.
Here's the thing. You either have to run early to give maximum opportunities to get a hit, or you stay on base and continue distracting the guy. Because actually, once Volpe got on second base, Chapman was like, what runner? I don't know. Is there a runner out there? I don't know. I'm just going to pitch. And he freaking blew fastballs by the guy.
Yeah, I don't know. It's just like you're looking at that, and we're all screaming like he's thrown over twice. You can't throw again. So what are you doing against a guy who can't hold anybody on? You should be halfway down the line.
He completely forgot, and I said this. I was like, Chapman is an implosion waiting to happen. How many times did we see Chapman implode? And he tried to implode. And the Yankees are implosion. They're implosion proof. They will not let you implode because they will be the final implosion.
Yeah, and you're looking at those. Stanton did. He looked overmatched on the fastballs early, and then I'm surprised he fouled off that 101 up in the zone. To be honest, it looked like Stanton from a few years ago when he couldn't touch a fastball up in the zone at all. And then Grisham just was Kevin put it in here. 0-for-4 with runners to score, 4 Ks, stranded 3, allowed 2 runners to reach at second base. You can't pay him. Oh, yeah. If we pay him, then I don't know what. But if Judge's arm is so bad in right field as well on that play, if we're talking about that, why is Grisham not being aggressive? They're both standing right there. Pick up the ball and throw it.
No, it's not an arm issue. You were 100% right. That was not an arm issue. That was assuming the runners on first base issue, and not executing the play with a little bit of urgency.
And
you need a lot of urgency.
What's funny but not funny? The last play that we saw when Judge dropped that ball in the outfield in the World Series, he took his eye off that ball to see if there was a runner going back to first base to tag to second in a play that was not going to happen, where he was shallow.
In a 5-0 game.
And this one, he doesn't even look to see. First of all, who's running, because that guy just was aggressive on the base path the inning before his at bat before that against a ball in a similar place to similar people. Clearly, there was a scouting report. And Grisham has done this before in the regular season, where he's taken his time to get to the ball, thrown it in lackadaisical, and guys have advanced. This is not the first time that's happened.
So before we talk about the prospect of Carlos Rodon on the mound to try and save the season, so Harrison was watching the game with me a little bit, and it was in the 8th inning once the Red Sox took Crochet out. You know how they kept showing him hanging over the dugout? And he's bald with a beard. Every time they showed him, Harrison goes, "Hey, Dada, that's you." Thanks, Harrison.
Well, you're typecasted now.
Yeah.
When you take the hat off, you're typecasted. I'm sorry. I don't know what to tell you.
How you feeling about Carlos Rodon to save the season? I mean, listen,
Hold on, real quick. David Trinidad in the comments is saying that a reporter pressed Boone. We haven't seen the Boone presser yet, and he deflected about the throw in and saying that Judge was trying to control the hop.
Okay, whatever. I mean, Boone. It's 8. Year 8. Boone's never going to say anything critical. Like, what are we doing here?
Yeah, it's when you're looking at. Someone said earlier that that they will criticize Boone for breathing and have fun doing it. I agree. And for the mistakes that he made here, maybe you could look at the offensive. You could look at the switches that he made just to bring in these right-handed bats who are, you look at Rosario, he has good numbers against left-handed pitching. He does. Caballero, better than the other side, but it's not an obvious start. It's just not an obvious start. If you play Rosario at third, you have Jazz at second, but he got cute with it and played the righties. But you know what? At the end of the day, this offense just didn't execute at all. Garrett Crochet came in and shut them down. You get rid of those two guys. They shut down everybody. Not named Volpe. And Volpe, 2 hits off the guy. But they can't string together hits. And in the playoffs, if you're going to play this, I'm going to hope to hit home run, pipe dream of that's how you're going to win games consistently. It's just not going to happen. You have to execute offensively. This has been the problem with the team for so many years when we're looking at it and saying, can we get a guy that can hit singles and has like a high on base percentage and a high average just to not hit home runs, just to like set the table a little bit and like maybe maybe hit a gap. And cut down the strikeouts. And this team just doesn't know how to do that.
They don't know how to do it. And listen, Boone's not up there taking at bats for guys.
Right.
Bellinger needs to have a better at bat in the first inning. State needs to have a better at bat in the 9th inning. All of those things are absolutely true, and that's not Boone's fault. I think the criticism, though, is fair for Boone for second guessing his decision to take Fried out. I'm not even necessarily criticizing him for that because I think that's a hard spot. I think Fried was probably done. Weaver sucked. But I think to your point on how Boone stacked the lineup to start the game, kind of put them in an awkward position late in that game where they had Chisholm and Rice on the bench. You can't floss your teeth while we're streaming live.
I'm just playing with it now.
I
want to floss my teeth so badly. You have no idea.
Where it was just, Cora knew those guys were on the bench. He was not going to bring in a right-handed reliever to allow the easy pinch hitting opportunity. He just wasn't going to do it.
The end of the game, he played that game. Cora played that game from the very beginning to attack the Yankees from the 7th through the 9th. That's what he said. You know what? If we get something against Fried, great. But I have a lot of confidence coming in, knowing what they're going to do, because Fried's not going to go deep into this game. One, he knew that. He was right. That's chalk. Like, you just know that that's going to happen. The Yankee starters don't go deep. And knowing that the Yankees bullpen has struggled mightily, knowing who they are, he left some really big bats on the bench, ready to come in and deploy, knowing that you're going. The other side of this is Boone trying to do the same thing. But oh, wait, they have Garrett Crochet out there, who's one of the best pitchers in the American League, a dominant horse of a pitcher who can throw, just like he did tonight, 113 pitches and push limits and still be effective. He's that kind of a guy.
Yeah.
And Cora knew he had the chips. He knew he had the chips.
Yeah. And I've said the stat a number of times. No team has ever won the wild card 3-game series after losing the first game. So if the Yankees win this, it would be the first time ever that they come back from 0-1. A team comes back from 0-1. We said, though, before the series, I mean, are you going to be consistent where we knew going into game 1, it was a coin flip at best for the Yankees because of how good Garrett Crochet is, but feel confident that the Yankees should be able to hit Bayo. And we didn't even know at the time Giolito was going to be out with an elbow issue in game 3. But whoever is going to be pitching for the Red Sox in game 3, it's maybe a bullpen game or whatever they're going to do. When we recorded Monday morning, we didn't have that information. But like you were talking, I don't remember what I said, but I remember you saying,
I think I talked you into it.
I remember you saying like, yeah, they might lose game 1 because it's Garrett Crochet. But it should be no problem. Rodon versus Bayo. That should be.
I
That should
didn't
be
say
a
it was,
check mark.
I didn't say there was no problem.
You
I
said
said,
the Yankees offense should have an edge in the games 2 and 3.
and I believe that they should have an edge, and I think they do have an edge. They've hit Bayo. They've proved that they can hit Bayo. I don't think Bayo is the the guy that he was early in the year. Besides the fact that they just started hitting him. Okay. He was that guy. He is no longer that guy. I think they have kind of proven to themselves that they can hit him. And he just hasn't been as effective. So the point was that, yes, it's never happened before, but if they were to lose game 1, I think in this particular instance, they're not out of it. They do have an opportunity to come in, because I think they can hit Bayo. And if they hit Bayo, if Boone doesn't do something stupid and actually plays his best hitters, and allows them.
I mean, it's easy. I mean, you've got
now he doesn't have to make any decisions because it's a right-handed pitcher. I know,
right.
But at that point, you have an opportunity to go in, and if you can win game 3, if you can win game 2, then yeah, I think that if it's an offensive showdown and whoever can score more runs, I think the Yankees have the advantage.
Here's the advantage, though, that
unless they're playing a guy named Garrett Crochet, and who knows, maybe he comes back for game 3.
Oh, I mean, he will. I mean, he will pitch in game 3 if there is a game 3. Yeah. As should Fried. It's your season. But the reason why it's such an advantage for those teams that win the first game is because the Red Sox are now playing with house money. The Yankees have to throw everyone that possibly can pitch tomorrow night in order to save their season. So the Red Sox, they could not pitch Chapman tomorrow. If it's a tie game, they could decide Chapman threw too many pitches last night. We're not going to throw Chapman. And then he is fully rested for game 3. Whereas Bednar needs to pitch tomorrow night. Williams needs to pitch tomorrow night. Cruz
Everybody needs to pitch.
Everyone needs to pitch tomorrow night.
Need to pitch tomorrow night.
But Weaver, do we even want to see him pitch again? But my point is, that's why it's such a disadvantage. So the way the Yankees make it not a disadvantage is bats show up against Bayo, you actually score some runs, and you don't have to worry about it. Go win the game 8-3. Can you do that, please? Because it's you have that capability. Rodon, I don't know what I have zero confidence in Rodon because I don't like the guy. But could he go pitch 6 innings, 2 runs? Sure. And that should be plenty good enough to beat Bayo.
You're absolutely right. The Yankees bats need to win tomorrow, and they need to win it early, so that they set the stage. Because no, you're up. You hit it. The Red Sox have the advantage because they can set themselves up for game 3 if they need to, and they don't have to pitch certain guys. So, the Yankees bats have to show up, and that's kind of what we were saying before. Like, understanding that history is what it is, and that no one's won this 3-game set after losing game 1. But history does happen for a first time occasionally, and this is one of those opportunities that they absolutely have. It's like, again, like they have the better offense. They do have the better offense, but they have to hit home runs. They do. They got to hit home runs. They got to hit the ball. They got to hit the ball out of the park.
Well, can you make the home run when there's 2?
They should be able to do that against the pitching that's in front of them for the next game and a half, though.
Yeah,
I mean, they should, but you're right. They have to do it early, just like today. Today they needed to strike early to get Crochet out of a rhythm to put some runs on that board. They had to do
that Bellinger at bat. I knew it when that at bat happened. When that inning ended in a poof, and you had 2 on. Was it 3 pitches, two line drive singles, and then 5 pitches later, 6 pitches later, innings over.
Stadium looked packed.
It's such a deflating feeling.
People showed up and got there for the 6 o'clock start. Good for Yankee fans fighting the traffic and getting in there early. The stadium felt loud, like it was alive. You got 2 hits off the bat. Crochet is now in a very difficult position, and you're right. It was a bad at bat. Over aggressive. I mean, Bellinger's been great all year long. He's been one of the guys that I think we've least complained about, if complained about it at all. For the beginning of the year, he struggled out of the gate, but then was phenomenal for the rest of the season.
He was their second best player this year.
And he was just too aggressive, and obviously swinging at balls out of the zone. And I understand, like, the guys ahead of him were aggressive. Clearly, that was the game plan. Jump on him. You jump on him, and
you should still be able to swing at pitches in the strike zone.
You got to be able to swing at pitches inside the strike zone. You can't stretch. You can't give Crochet extra space around that strike zone. And I thought the umpire called a pretty good game today. There were a couple opportunities. I mean, Wells struck out twice looking. He was terrible.
There was I remember 2 borderline pitches that Fried didn't get, where it seemed like the umpire was not calling his curveball that was high, which is also a dangerous pitch. Like, what are we doing here? Throwing top of the zone curveballs, but okay. The umpire missed those. Then there was one fastball late in the game where Crochet threw, I think in his last inning.
Yeah, he didn't get it.
He didn't get it. So I'm sure there was even
But then
more.
he struck out on a fastball down. So don't worry. He still struck out.
No, but my point is, this is my point with umpires. Like, unless it's Jim Joyce or whatever that guy's name was, literally like not calling the guy out in a perfect game. If you're arguing over balls and strikes, it's gonna even out in the end. Okay, umpires make mistakes. It's gonna even out in the end.
Yeah, and Jazz, like, you know, you get in at the end and you're arguing about a called.
Apparently, he didn't talk to the media after because he was upset he wasn't in the starting lineup.
Well, he should be. He should be. When is he sitting versus lefties?
I know it is.
Is that what's happening? Is that what Boone was doing all years? He's sitting him for against lefties.
You're 100% right. When we were talking about the lineup on Monday,
let's just do something now. Let's just like, oh, he's a starting second baseman. He played third or starting third. He's an
all-star all-star second baseman. Yeah.
And you're gonna sit him because of a righty lefty matchup to play Jose Caballero.
So
when we were in the lineup,
when we were talking about who's going to sit, Jazz didn't even cross our mind. We were like, is Grisham going to sit? We didn't even think Jazz would sit.
No, because it's asinine.
It's pretty stupid. Yeah,
it's asinine.
Yeah, I mean, Jazz frustrates me, but it's like I'm not dumb enough to know that to think he's not your best option at second base.
100%. I mean, like, the guy is a competitor. He can hit. You don't mess around with that. It's too cute. It's just like, it's trying too hard. It's the nerds in the building telling the mouthpiece what to do, the mouthpiece writing it on a piece of paper and not thinking about not having the ability to think about what it is.
I promise we're almost done. It highlights a problem with the roster, is that it's too left-handed. Okay, if your lineup is so left-handed that you have to sit your all-star second baseman who's a lefty and get Jose Caballero's
and one of their hottest hitters in Ben Rice, who just got done hitting 2 home runs on Sunday.
You have to do that, if you're benching your all-star player, your roster is flawed.
The other thing about this is we talked about this with them carrying JC Escara as the third catcher because of the flexibility with Ben Rice. And we all know how sometimes when we talk about the Yankees, unfortunately, we have to talk about it in like a dumbed down way, because we're talking about it as if, because we know what Aaron Boone will do before he'll do it, and they're stupid decisions. And it sounds like we're defending them, but we're not. It's just, we just know that this is going to happen. And this is one of those situations where, because of Ben Rice's ability to play first base, that's why he probably wasn't starting at catcher today too, because of his ability to play first base, and maybe he can get in. I think Austin Wells is still a lefty. Austin Wells has been terrible at the plate all year.
He has, but does Fried always throw to him?
It doesn't matter. He was catching people that he hadn't caught at the end of the season. It was clear that they were setting up an opportunity for Rice to be able to catch in the playoffs.
Well, I don't know. I'm looking up right now.
It's just, you're looking at all of the things, and I'm telling you.
So he only threw once. He threw one game to Rice, and it was his last start. So he did pitch really well. He did pitch really well in his last start.
Okay. But what have you done for me lately? And Austin Wells has been
horrendous.
0 at the plate all year. Can't throw guys out. The framing is down. That's going to matter next year. But I'm telling you, the reason why he didn't do it is because he can play first base.
Maybe. I just think they probably decided,
because Goldschmidt was going to have to sit if a righty came in, and who was going to play first base? It was going to be Ben Rice. I'm telling you, that's the reason. That is his logic.
Yeah.
Don't play the best player. You got to wait for that guy, just because we're going to probably make a change at some point when
no, you're right.
When Crochet doesn't go, 8 innings.
Yeah, they love to script.
These are the things, man. These are the managerial stupid things that he
It's
does.
chess checkers. It's chess checkers, and Boone plays checkers.
He thinks he's playing chess though. That's the
no,
problem.
he thinks he's playing. He thinks he's playing chess, but he's really playing checkers. But really, he should be playing baseball, and so his mind is just completely lost. The thing with Rice, though, I listen. Part of me understands if Max Fried's been thrown to Austin Wells all year and obviously had a great season. You want to set up Max Fried to have the best possible game.
Do you think the reason they pitched him in the last outing for Max Fried is because
No.
they were going to do that, or we're going to possibly do that in the playoffs?
So then, given that information, you're 100% right. And Rice has been such a better offensive player than Wells. You're right. You can put him there, but they love to script out the little moments where
I know, that's what I'm saying.
as soon as Crochet's out of the game, Jazz is going to come in at second base and Rice is going to go in at first base, and we're going to have these power lefties off the bat coming in against the right-handed bullpen arms of the Red Sox. Oh, Garrett Crochet threw 113 pitches and handed the ball straight to lefty Aroldis Chapman. Shit, didn't see that coming.
Right. Didn't see that coming. Didn't see the power lefty coming in there who's like just a hoss coming in there and dominating you against your all lefty lineup, plus a few a couple throw-ins that you got at the middle of the season.
If your whole game plan was trying to get at bats for your lefty hitters off the righties in the bullpen, why are you so aggressive off of Garrett Crochet early in the game? Why are you swinging at first and second pitches? Aren't you trying to get his pitch count up? Aren't you trying to make him throw 100 pitches by the 5th inning, not the 8th inning? It's just.
I don't hate that in the first. Yeah, nothing makes sense. It just doesn't make sense. And then when it doesn't work out, inevitably doesn't work out, it just makes less sense because you're seeing it. But unfortunately, these are the things that we knew going into the game because we've seen Aaron Boone manage enough games where we know how he thinks or doesn't think, or lack of thinking, that he masks his thinking.
He only thinks one thing ahead. He cannot think 2, 3, 4 things ahead.
Well, no, he does, but they're all written down before the game.
That's not thinking. That is literally banking on things happening. If the things don't happen in the exact order that was planned, then what good is your plan?
It's not a plan. It's just it's a piece of paper that
your script.
It's a script. It's not a plan.
What good is your script if the 7 things that happen before it aren't what you planned for? It's like, it's just asinine.
And the problem is that there's no backup. There's no like contingency plan. It's just the script. There's no other script. But if the script doesn't work, then we're in trouble.
But you know what? Unfortunately, is how I think the organization looks at it is. We had a 1-0 lead. We handed the ball to Weaver and he didn't pitch well. That's in their mind all that went wrong. None of the other stuff. None of the runners left on base. None of the lineup decisions. None of the can't execute.
Physical outfield.
Yeah. Can't execute
because if you look at the other side, what Cora did was told his guys to be aggressive and take the bases, take the extra bases. That was a clear directive from Alex Cora saying, take the bases.
And Grisham
be aggressive on the base path and run on them. And I'm not saying run on their weak arms. I said this before.
It might be for Judge.
They're not there.
Yeah, no. So for Judge,
they're definitely running on Judge's arm, but that's not the reason why. That's
not what happened there. 100% not what happened there. But I do think Grisham has a tendency to play lackadaisical on what he thinks are routine plays.
Yes, he's got that nonchalant thing in him, definitely.
Which, when there's runners on base, you can never be nonchalant. If there's
look at his sunglasses, bro. He's on the beach in Miami.
Those
are not baseball sunglasses.
Trent Grisham.
They look good.
Trent Grisham is very far down the list of Yankees problems because he had a fantastic year. He had a Brady Anderson-esque year. You see the graphic today? 3 home runs, 7 home runs, 12 home runs, 30 whatever home runs he hit.
Yeah. I just saw a picture of somewhere on Instagram, Brady Anderson rollerblading.
Like in current day?
No, it was a throwback.
Oh, throwback 90s probably.
Yeah, he was like speedoed out.
Yeah.
Some power. It was like a power stride.
Yeah. Well, Carlos Rodon for the season tomorrow. So
Carlos Rodon versus Bayo. Again, like Rodon's got the ability to go five. He's got the Tanaka start in him. He's got 5 innings, 2 runs. Okay.
Mhm.
And if he does that, the Yankees should win the game. Actually, that's not true because then they got to get a lot of outs in the
that's a
bullpen.
lot of outs from the bullpen.
But the Yankees should score runs. The Yankees got to score runs, and they got to do it early, like you said. That's spot on. Tomorrow they need to be aggressive and they need to hit early. And unfortunately, if the ball's not going out of the park and you're seeing Bayo with a little bit of extra stuff or feeling good, and he's getting swings and misses early, it's a problem because they're going to strike out.
But again, if you find yourself in a close game late, you are going to get managed around in circles between Cora and Aaron Boone.
There's no doubt who the better manager is. It's not even close. It pains me to say this, but it's not even. It doesn't pay me to say this because I think Aaron Boone's an idiot. I think the majority of managers in the major leagues are better managers than him. But Alex Cora is significantly better at the X's and O's and understanding how to pull the right string.
How to press the button. Like Cora is a button pressing. From our vantage point, like I'm sure Red Sox fans complain about Alex Cora because complaining about your baseball manager it's a rite of passage. It's what you do for your baseball team.
Yeah.
But from our vantage point, whenever we watch Alex Cora do things, I'm like, oh, he's pressing buttons and they're working out. Our guy is just pressing buttons and the controller's not even connected to the TV.
This guy's taking extra bases on routine fly balls and routine ground balls. Meanwhile, Aroldis Chapman has thrown over twice already, and the rule says you can't throw over a third time, and we're standing there like we're in quicksand. And the only reason the runner advances is because that dumbass threw over to first base and advanced the runner. Unbelievable. When I'm watching, I'm like, you can't make this shit up.
I know. Unbelievable.
And then you know what they do? They don't make them pay for it at all.
No.
You want to give us the game? You want to give us the runner in scoring position? Hell yeah, let's take it. Take advantage. No.
Nah. All right. That's going to wrap up tonight's episode. Thanks everyone for tuning in. Sorry for the few minutes of technical difficulties to start. We'll talk to you again tomorrow after game 2. Hopefully it's not the last of the live streams. See you guys then.
See you guys.